Collective reading, new love after turmoil. You've dealt with layers of players, and you're done with the strife. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you at your reading. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do another reading. Today we're going to focus on new love. I think we're all a little bit tired of hearing the same old song, and literally, if you guys know, I think it's Selena Gomez, the same old song. I'm sick of that same old song, and I think we all are. So let's go ahead, and for those of you that are interested in maybe looking for a new partner or companion or reviving your current partner, whatever the deal is, this reading would be for you. And what I mean by that, if you're currently partnered, you can have a revival on your new love being with your current partner. But for most, it's going to be brand new love. New. Okay. I wrote an intention. And for those of you that are interested in doing an intention wish with me, I got this off of Miss Machista from YouTube. And I love them because it's fire. There you go. Okay, so we are looking at new love. And I can't help but chuckle a little bit because right away, I mean, granted, this did happen in the other video, but I wasn't really like super led to thinking about it much. But the first thing on my mind when I'm thinking about this is you may have kissed a lot of frogs. You may have kissed a lot of frogs, and maybe you're done. You're just like, there are no more kisses left in me to kiss any more frogs. I'm just over it. I'm done. Right? And I can well relate. If that's your story, then just hang on. Show me what I need to see. For the collective, as far as new love coming, show me what I need to see. I'm literally seeing these like two piles of like ashes, like embers burning. And I feel like maybe both of you have suffered a lot of heartache and loss. Show me what I need to see. I'd like 3 cards. 3 cards to show the reading and show me now. Taking this. Yep, regeneration. Look at that. Doesn't it look like embers? Fire. New life. These are pretty cards. Co-create. Okay. So I feel like you've been, I feel more than anything undergoing a period of silence. Like, not necessarily focusing on love so much as like maybe focusing on yourself. With the regeneration card, this is like really powerful. I feel like there's a lot of structures, a lot of ideas, a lot of wishes, a lot of dreams, a lot of feelings. There's just a lot that's been burned to the ground. I feel like you've had a complete, or in the process of making a complete like makeover when it comes to what your idea for a partner is, or anything like that. So I think that's pretty fascinating. Let's see. I'm trying to find this because I would actually like to read. The regeneration looks so intense, and I'm like absolutely fascinated. Fascinated. Here it is. Regeneration. Essential meaning, rebirth, second chances, new opportunities. The Oracle's message, second chances are available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or loss is now being replaced by something better and more powerful regrowing in its place. This rebirth is assured step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in a wondrous way. Relationship message: the world is based on connections and relationships. No matter what losses occurred in the past or even now, death or endings are only illusions. There's life after death, love after loss, and in this moment, you're radiating the regenerative life force energy that makes you irresistible to love in all forms. Now's the time when you will see evidence of this emergent. I can't say that. I'm going to blame my retainer, but I just can't say the word. Can you feel it? Love is rising up to greet you. Prosperity message. What happens when it appears you failed at something? Do you see the beauty in the lesson? This is so powerful, you guys, because I think that's so true. There's even beauty in destruction. I know that sounds a little bit like controversial or maybe even morbid, but when things get really destroyed, including like relationships or any buildings or structures, there's a certain beauty in it, and watching things being kind of like torn down and then being rebuilt once again. But most of all, learning lessons, and they're not easy. They're all quite painful. And I think that that's what keeps us, from growing, is running back to the same old, kind of like not learning our lesson, not stopping to observe, not taking in and sinking in as many lessons as like one occurrence that we possibly can have. And it's almost like we're doomed to have to repeat that cycle again. I'm not down for like repetition. This rinse repeat nonsense is no fun. Anyways, I digress. The understanding that arises from difficulties is like a seed that lies dormant for a time. Then, once it germinates in your subconscious, it pushes through into your awareness. It is becoming apparent that there is a new you, a new start, a more powerful version and form of what you began to plant in the garden of your imagination has surfaced. You are ripe for success. New opportunities, much bigger than those that came before, appear like gifts from the gods. Now is one of those times when out of seeming loss and failure comes remarkable abundance. Do not dwell on the past, because you really are experiencing a rebirth. So that is the message that came there. And I'm looking at, well, first of all, it's catching my attention is the stillness there. There's just a lot of chaos happening here, a lot of churning. You could have had really, really deep emotions stir up a lot of things that maybe left your foundation kind of broken or shaken, or perhaps you had built, that feels right, perhaps you built on a foundation that wasn't really sturdy. I guess what I mean by that is I can share with you like my experience of like growing up wasn't the best. There was a lot of challenges to overcome. We moved pretty much nonstop. There was a lot of DV going on in my family, and not any stability really to be found. And then growing up, I thought it was all about like attention. And of course I attracted the wrong people and so on and so forth. But I feel like as an adult, all of that had to crumble. And I had to learn some really, really hard lessons about attention and what that really means and how it can lead you astray. And the type of attention that I allow in my life now versus back then. So it could be things like that. And yeah, I kind of overshared, but you're welcome. So it's going to be fundamentals, things like that. Even it could be even deeper. I'm not even sure how much I could share on this channel, but with all of the sex trafficking and all those rings going on that have finally become public and stuff like that. And I just have to say that I can relate. I'm not going to get super personal about that, but I will tell you that that pretty much messes up a person for life. And it's not a death sentence. That's not what I'm insinuating. But I am saying that it will cause you all sorts of crisis and drama until you're able to kind of work through that with therapy, with spirituality, and however else you can work through it. But essentially that helped me realize, you know, what is acceptable and not. And I made some really firm choices on how I would raise my son and who I would let my son around and things like that. So it really greatly affected not just my life, but the people that got close to me or that are close to me now. You know, so things like that. Anyways. So yeah, you are having a new life. And I feel like it's a stable. I feel like there's a banner and a cheer even from the little fairy saying, hey, you know, you do have new love coming. You've withstood and undergone a lot of destruction. And you have a totally new foundation. And I feel like, and this foundation is a lot more simple than things ever have been. It could be very stoic, very beautiful. And here's like the rebirthing, the egg, then you have the owl and the leopard. That's kind of interesting. It sounds like a bad joke. But you're here with Spirit co-creating. And I feel like what you're co-creating is incredibly beautiful. You attract really what you think about, who you think about. And it's going to be really important that you vet people fairly, but you vet them based on the qualities that you really want or the future that you envision for yourself or whatever criteria it is that you have, that you've come from all of this like past mess, you know, beyond the ego basically. And you learn how to vet people that way. Yeah, with like stability and with honesty and with clarity and having, you know, being able to state clearly, well, these are my goals and this is not something I'm interested in, but I do like that. And so on and so forth. So we have 2 4s on the board here. And to me, you know, you add them up, you get the 8. And to me, I always feel like that's, yeah, definitely a lucky number, but it can also stand for cycles. I feel like you're in for a new cycle and a new life. Stay optimistic. And honestly, I feel like a lot of you guys are not even looking for anyone right now. It's not like you're on any apps like looking today. I feel like you're happy with yourself. I feel like the reconstruction of your life, if you relate to this message at all, has been something like really deep, and it's given you a lot of peace, and you're not out seeking what doesn't belong to you. In other words, I feel like if you do meet somebody and new love is coming towards you, which is actually something that you can create, then I feel like it's going to be more organic. It'll be, you know, running into somebody at the grocery store or a friend of a friend or somebody that you've known for a while that you were not invested in romantically, any of those cases. Okay, show me why new life is here. Why is new life here, please? Show me what I need to see for this reading for new love, and show me now. 8 of Wands. So this is messages coming to and back and forth, to and from. I'm like, can I show this? Yeah, I think I can show this. But I love these cards. Look at these cards. They're so cool. She's just like totally just engrossed in being in the woods and enjoying her tree. And I don't know if this is like a bog or a little river. And she's propped in between like 2, I don't know, like 2 big old rocks right here, and her booty's in the water, and her little crazy tail is, you know, just kind of maybe fanning herself, who knows, but she's just enjoying the whole thing. And I feel like this person's gonna be somebody who showers you with attention, but like real attention, not like, ooh, squirrel, ooh, shiny, ooh, and moving on, that kind of a thing. And maybe even a different kind of attention, not just like the physical, but attention in the sense of like, wow, I'm really interested in what you have to think about this, or what you see in this, or how you view the world, or if you're into politics, what do you think about politics, or world domination, I heard. Just kidding. But yeah, just getting to know you, like on all fronts, and I feel like that's going to be so much more fulfilling. I like her pose right here, how she's just kind of like open-chested and pretty vulnerable and just really open. I feel like you could be actually very open, given the right circumstances and in spite of like a lot of destruction. I'm looking at all this sky up here looking like glitter. And I think that you still held on to your innocence and optimism in spite of a lot of, what I would call rough breaks, okay? Show me why these cards are here, please. The regeneration cards. Show me a little bit more about this connection for new love, and show me now. Oh, I'm not supposed to be showing those. YouTube. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. So you see the rabbit. Rabbit. Yep. How do we hide this? Because, you know. Anyways, I feel like you could have really long legs, or something about your body is like really, I think, beautiful. I think you're going to be considered very beautiful because you're very earthy, very down to earth. But at the same time, a little bit skittish, like ready to bolt. If anything, if anybody says boo and you're like, I'm the F out of here. Okay. And I'm not laughing. I think that you've just been through some stuff and I totally can relate. So please understand that I'm laughing more out of a sense of self-consciousness than like laughing at you. But the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's definitely like salt of the earth. They're very quite comfortable in their own skin, and animals and children love her. This could be a him. It doesn't make a difference. But I feel like this is you, and this is how you are. This is how you've become out of all of this mess and destruction. You've gotten a really great balance and great sense of yourself, and a lot of common sense that maybe perhaps wasn't given to you, and a lot of rhyme and reason that wasn't maybe told to you. I have the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands typically is somebody who's like in and out energy, like very fiery. This person could be fiery, could be a little bit on the younger side as well. And I have the Knight of Wands. So you might have a couple of blockages with not knowing like real intention. Like, are they fiery just because they think I have like nice legs? Or are they fiery because they like my tail? I'm saying that because she's a mermaid, guys, okay? But any of those are possible. And I do feel like here, this reminds me, it wasn't the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, where he was a little boy and the guy by the fence is kind of like waving him over, or the other way around. No, he waves the kid over. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But this is like the Nine of Wands. It's being, you know, defensive. It's having your fences up and saying, hey, you know, I'm kind of vulnerable. I can bolt easily, and I can misinterpret your signals if you come too hard, too fast. No pun intended. But if you come at me just kind of like all frothing at the mouth and sweaty, I'm just going to think that all you want is one thing and I'm out, that kind of a thing. So I think that this person is going to understand that they would need to take their time with you and get to understand it, make you feel safe enough to where maybe you could even take a nap. Yeah. I'm all, yeah, talking to my cards. Anyways, don't laugh at me. But this is a co-creation. This is about like starting something brand new. And this is about having a higher vision and using your wisdom to be able to understand how things are birthed and how things grow out of all of these embers. I think that you've been communing quite solitary for a long time. And then with the leopard, you know, this could be somebody who's on the hunt. Kind of like this Knight of Wands here, following their passion. But I don't feel like there is a threat. I feel like also you could be very beautiful, almost like viewed as a creature of the night or mysterious. And look at all that leg action going on here. But she's got her bat wings and she's ready to fly if she needs to. But the Nine of Pentacles is like, I have everything that I need. Like, I don't need anybody for money, for their vehicles, their status in life. That's not what I'm looking for. And with the Nine of Pentacles, this tells me that this is somebody that is looking like welcoming a partnership, but it's more of like, I want one, not I need one. It isn't born out of a need and a self-seeking or a medicate on you type of a vibe, okay? Hope I'm making sense right there. I feel like I kind of muddle things. You could actually like to, hi there, okay. You could like to wear really beautiful like gowns or robes or things that people are not really used to wearing, or just simply be like super earthy. Or maybe like cosplay, because she's got the mermaid thing going on here, and the Diana the Huntress thing going on here, and the Batgirl, I don't know what that really is, but the High Priestess here is following your intuition. And you could be a tarot reader as well, or have a lot of interest in this, but I feel like with it too, you could be somebody who's very self-sufficient and hard to approach. Yeah. You could be hard to approach. People could feel like they're on the outs with you. Like this guy is even kind of like crawling, and she's just like, okay, I'm getting there. Then we have all these sand dollars here and these pentacles. But you could have closed the door to many people because perhaps they didn't come at you proper, or their intention seemed kind of fishy or weird to you, and you kind of bolted or just decided it wasn't for you. And so here I have the Three of Pentacles. So in order for this to work, there's going to be some give and take, and there, you know, a little bit of give and take action. It could feel like sometimes it could spiral, or it could be a little bit hypnotic in the way that you give and take. Maybe this person likes to be like, maybe you love to cook, and this person likes to meal prep, and they like to do like prep chef, and they love to cut things, you know, cut all the food, like pre-prep it for you to cook and things like that. And this whole unity thing takes you kind of by surprise at how well that you guys function. Like if you stop to get gas, one of you guys will open up the gas thing, whatever that's called. And the other one will actually get the spout. The gas, okay, I'm using analogies. I don't know what these things are called, but you get the point. So this could be like a really good partnership. And I feel like it will be kind of like very surprising, but things will go quite easy if you're able to really kind of talk through any misunderstandings, or give it a little bit of time than just assuming that this person is only out for skin. Okay, how do I put it like that? Almost like he's a carnivore. That's not what I mean, but anyways, yeah, Seven of Wands. So you could be used to being the lone wolf, look, and even kind of like scared of shadows, or even implied things. I don't know, maybe also you could even see the shadow aspect of people quite easily. You could even, like in real life, see shadows and have, you know, being a high priestess, she, I think, communes with the other side as well. And there could be an aspect to you that talks about that as well. And so you could be a little bit of like a lone wolf and not have a lot of people to talk to, especially like romantic. Like, what are you going to say? Oh, you know, I feel like an attachment is around somebody, or, you know, if you go to a restaurant and you're catching other people's vibes, and or you're hearing things, if you're clairsentient, clairaudient, it's a lot to deal with. I'm gonna tell you right now that, you know, when I go places and I do my best, it's kind of like a water valve. You turn it off because you don't need the water, you turn it on when you need it. But you do have, you know, if you're sensitive, it could really be overwhelming. Oh, that's what it is. I feel like you've kept yourself like apart, separate for many reasons, because a lot of things have been like brewing and growing, but also because you have a lot of like high priestess energy. Like you commune with spirits, and you're able to understand what people are going through, and even their emotions and things like that. So basically you're an empath. Oh my god, that was like the long way of going about telling that story. She can be super empathic. You could be sitting in a restaurant, and you know, the waitress comes, and all of a sudden you know that this waitress had a fight with somebody, and she's feeling super angry, even though she's smiling and saying all the right things. or she could, you know, you could have visitations from this waitress's grandmother, whatever. But it's things like that that are going to really have to be explained in order for people to really have some teamwork to grow together. And I have 6 of Wands, so I feel like your reputation like precedes you. I think that people know that you've earned it. It's not like you've had things easy. I don't feel like you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, especially with this like regeneration thing. I think that you've had to really build from literally lava, like nothing. You're like, okay, here's lava. We'll wait for it to cool and we'll go from there. But I love that celebration. I feel like friends and family could really celebrate you in a real way. And I feel like you're just not one to toot your own horn. And I think that that's part of your appeal, okay? So I think that this could be a part of a friend group as well, okay? The Emperor. Somebody who would want to actually take care of you, but you could have a little bit of a power struggle because it looks like you're really super independent as well, and you're not going to take kindly to having somebody come in and tell you how to live your life or bark orders, which, you know, the Emperor could be a little bit bossy or trying to take charge. So it's going to have to be a compromising situation. That sounds really weird, but that's not how I mean it. At the bottom of the deck, I happen to look and I have, yeah, the Lovers here, and said this is about a need to make choices too. So there is a need to make a choice. And the Four of Swords, this could be maybe you recuperating from something, from like an illness, or someone else recuperating from an illness. But this could be, yeah, actually, part of the illness could be like heartache and heartbreak that you've had, and you've had to rebuild yourself. Maybe you've had to regenerate and recoup yourself from like the brink of death. Not to sound dramatic, but really. And there's a little bit of, you know, times when you just need some rest or decompress, or you need to kind of work through those things. So the Four of Swords can indicate like still recovery time is needed. But I don't think that this will be a solo recovery thing. I think it'll be as you get closer to other people, more things can come out that you'll need to deal with. It's just a cycle of life. And if you've endured like trauma and abuse or whatever the case may be, as you guys know, if you're on this channel, I suspect a lot of you do now, that comes with a lot of layers. And so just when you think you've healed from something, you know, something great happens, and then it kind of triggers a fear. It triggers an anxiety. It triggers like, oh my goodness, this person may only want me for my body, and then the minute that I have sex with them, they'll disappear. Or it'll trigger, oh, this person wants to control my life. Or it'll trigger, you know, I can't really be vulnerable with this person, or whatever your triggers are. And I feel like you'll have to deal with those on a case by case and try to be transparent and open about that. But also be watchful, and I think that you will be. Nine of Swords, this could also say that you struggle a lot with anxiety when it comes to partnerships. It's like counterintuitive, but I do see here that you will be working very hard in order to overcome that as well, because you're a hard worker by nature and you don't take the easy way out. Anybody who has that regeneration card come forth is not anyone who takes things lightly and throws in the towel. So the Knight of Swords is seeking truth, so just be really careful with your words as well. So I feel like at times you could be really sharp with your words, and all of these like birds. You could have a connection to birds. I personally love all of the birds, especially crows and ravens, and I don't know, all of the blackbirds I especially love. But that is what I have for you. New love definitely is possible. Some things to work through. Hope that you enjoyed this kind of reading. If you do, please do like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much. Sorry. Thank you so much for being here. I'm like, this is the evil eye. This is for all the people who watch me out of spite. Anyways, thank you so much, and much love to you guys. Namaste.